You're listening to the Abolitionist Round Table, patriotic Black American conservatism, with your hosts, Del, Phil, and Janice, leading the charge and advancing the 4%. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600.
All right, we're back. If you'd like to join the Abolitionist Round Table, Black conservatism, and also we have somebody here that it's not just Black conservative. And that's what Phil and I, the founding was. But then we also brought the mayor in because she believed in this Constitution, and so we want to trying to get our people that we elected back to take responsibility for what they were, that they wasn't put there as a king or queen, but they have a constitutional responsibility. Okay,
Quick. Let me. Can I just?
But here, let's get him. Okay, yeah. Brett, put Nadra back on the phone with us. Okay, Mr. Anderson, you there?
I'm back.
Okay, all right. So hold on. Now, Phil want to continue for a minute, and then Mary, she want to make a comment. We're going to continue this for a few minutes, and then we're gonna let you conclude. So go ahead, Phil. And what was you wanted to say?
Well, the part that about this flag,
yeah.
The thing about it is when that flag is elevated to the point where it we can blame that for the actual horrific incident that happened in South Carolina. That's what it seems to be, because what happens is we're blaming that and taking out our ire on that flag. We need to be talking about the ideas that put that flag there. It was Fritz Holling. It was Democrats that put it there. And they have hid their hands and allowed all of the anger to be driven toward an object, a flag. But the ideas of the Democrat Party have never worked ever since the founding of this republic. Yet and still, we keep electing these people, and we're about to do it again with Hillary Clinton. That's where, and she's hiding very well the fact that she and her husband had the pictures of them with the Confederate flag when he was campaigning. This is how effective they've been at hiding their past, and the Democrats have been even more effective as a party.
Okay, Mayor, the Confederate flag.
Well, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
The Confederate flag is a sign of a heritage for a group of people.
It is.
I think that black and white people who founded this country together, quite frankly, over the course of our history, have grown to love each other. We've now become quite divided.
If you pause there for a minute, we've seen that after that tragedy, the people in that church,
that's right,
how they responded. Was that beautiful?
That was beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you something,
Yeah.
if we want to rally against a flag, let's rally as a country against the flag of ISIS, because there is the symbol of death and destruction, pure and simple, to everybody.
Yes.
So I think we're absolutely wrong to be using the flag again, like Phil says. It's a diversion.
Have you noticed how very effective they've been at separating ISIS from the radicals?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And Islam. I mean, and they're continually pushing the Islamic ideal in this country. And when you hear people that are in the Islamic faith say things like, and I heard it just the other night, that America's Constitution is the most Sharia-compliant Constitution on the face of the earth. That means that they are able to take our Constitution and twist it to their benefit. And this is where I say it's very, very difficult for me to defend anything with the Confederate flag. But I just don't want people to take that and make that as the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of looking at what is really the problem, some of the...
Well, that's why we broaden the debate
Yes.
from racial terrorism to political duplicity.
Yeah.
And again, we all know that those who predated the Democrats and Democrats use that flag and use it very effectively to indicate their unwavering determination to maintain an apartheid state.
Oh, I disagree with that 100%. I disagree with that 100%.
That was
even
fact.
the Democrats.
It was fact.
Even the Democrats aren't that racist. I mean, really,
No,
this country.
I'm talking about
the leadership.
As the Democrats ask everybody else to own up
not the
to
people.
whatever they've done, real and imagined. Well, this is part and parcel of the Democratic Party. It's one of the few, perhaps the only, major American party that actually had a terrorist wing, Ku Klux Klan, deployed against their enemies, black and white. Now, this is a great time for Americans to say, thank God that the vast majority of us, because there still are some troglodytes out there, but thank God the vast majority of us do not have that type of mindset.
Yeah.
And yes, ISIS is an ever-present threat, but we've always had domestic as well as foreign enemies.
Yeah.
This is a great time in American history. Now, it's greatly troubling, obviously. You know, we just turned marriage inside out. We just got socialized medicine with essentially the IRS putting a gun up to your head if you don't take it, validated by the courts. But then we've also seen the party that has always been considered to be racist in modern times, the Republican Party, take steps in the South that many would have considered impossible, and they did so instantaneously. This is like in the old days where people put their feet down and you've got to have all these debates and federal lawyers and U.S. Marshals, and then you got to activate the National Guard or federal troops have to be sent in. None of that happened, which I'm sure disappoints some on the left. They think, well, wow, they really dig their heels in. Not only do we get to have a lot of violence and heartbreak, but we can also use this for the 2016 presidential cycle.
Yeah, well, that
I'm sure is on the minds of many who may not admit it, but this is the political season that we find ourselves in, and everything, as we know, will be used as ammunition.
And that's a good point. Everything. He's right about that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And but the thing is, they're using it for cover right now.
They are
to cover up all of the bad in this Obamacare. They're using it to cover up all of the lawlessness.
You're right. Because why did they have to come out at a time, this particular time, where where we was having the funerals of all these people that the 9 that were murdered, were in the midst of ISIS just at the highest peak of their revolution of just murdering and slaughter. I mean, here when the president when the whole world can watch ISIS put Christians in a cage and lower them down in the water and drown them. When ISIS can put men in a cage, this is the same thing the Democrats Party used to do under that flag.
Right.
When ISIS can put a man in a cage and pour gasoline on him and burn him. Before the
this
whole.
is what shocks the sensibility.
Yes.
You just had an ISIS-level attack on 9 American citizens by another American citizen, and because this is so atypical now.
But how many people were killed in Chicago this past weekend? How many black men were killed in Chicago last weekend?
But that's black on black crime. Regrettably.
So we're supposed to just ignore that?
Case.
Well, but the issue is bigger than just one case. Men killing men has been going on throughout history.
9 people were murdered in a church.
It's horrific.
Of all political stripes are horrified by that thought.
Absolutely.
I have thought and actually have the distinction of being one of the loudest voices against black on black crime in this country for 20 years.
Yes,
so I understand.
Yes, you have.
I have health crime victims. I've buried friends. So I understand our internal attrition rate. But I've always said, justice is a multitasking affair. We can focus on black crime because it is wrong, but that also does not exempt others who commit crime against us.
Of course
it's
not.
Crime, period, and it's loss of life, period.
That's right.
That needs to be opposed regardless of the color of the perpetrator.
Okay, you know what? Hold on just a minute, Nadra. Could you, Derek, go ahead and get Kevin Martin on the line with us right now. And we're going to have to conclude with you, Nadra, because, man, it's just so much that we need to talk about. Of course, you're welcome here anytime at all. I'm going to let you go ahead and conclude because we have another guest from Project 21, and we want to get his opinion about this. We got Milt on the other line. Milt want to conclude with here in Michigan. What we've been doing is we've been celebrating marriage, a heterosexual marriage. for the whole month. And so
does that still exist?
Yeah. Well, you know what we're saying is that what we're for, they may be for something else, but we're for heterosexual marriage. Absolutely, it still exists. Just because the Supreme Court made a decision, that don't mean that we're going to automatically just fall in line. Now, our governor here in Michigan, our governor had already said, well, that's the law. We're going to go ahead and follow it. But here, the abolitionists, just like abortion, 44 years ago, they made that decision. We still fighting against that. We still fighting against that right now. Yeah. So go ahead and conclude, and then we're going to have Kevin Martin with us, and we're going ahead and finish and continue the conversation on the Abolitionist Round Table.
Well, as I opened, I would say that
Yes.
the work of abolition and Reconstruction still continue.
Yes, it
and
does.
you can be very happy that the Republican Party in the South has taken the lead in hoping to put once and for all a very painful and divisive image in context and ultimately in museums. And I close with this warning.
Yes.
Either you govern yourself or others will.
Yeah.
That's exactly
All right. Thank you very
Thanks
much
a
for
lot,
getting up
Nigel.
with us this morning.
Real pleasure.
Thank you for a vigorous debate. One thing about us on the conservative side, we all can have different opinion. Matter of fact, we see 200 people on the stage, but at the end of the day, we're not like the other side that are very dictatorial. So absolutely. So we had a discussion. We're all still in love. And now we're going to get with, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later, my friend. All right, good morning, Kevin. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining the Abolitionist Round Table. I'm Dale Marsh, sitting in the studio with Phil Stargell and Mary Janice Daniels. You wrote a piece, and you're a member of Project 21. You wrote that it's time to remove the Confederate flag. And so we want to hear from you. You're a Southern guy. I know now you stay where you stay in the Washington, D.C. area now?
Washington, D.C.
Yes. Okay. And so we want to continue this conversation. And then if later on we want to get your opinion on what happened yesterday with marriage and where you see that. But first, let's deal with this flag right here.